Hey, Brad. Hey, Jennifer. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Okay, how are you?
I'm great. So you need to know Child's Play was the very first horror film I ever saw. I have such a special place in my heart for Chucky, so I'm so excited for this series. Brad, what was your reaction when Dawn came to you saying that they were going to create this Chucky TV series?
Very excited and like, well, we'll know it's real when it's real. But so I heard about it, and it was like, it seemed like a kind of an uphill climb to really finally. I mean, a TV series is a big thing, and it's not something that you would imagine. But then when I thought about it, I thought, this would really work. I think people at this point want to know more about these characters. And you can, dive into character much better in a series than you can in a single movie. So that's what I have to say about that.
Also, too, I think people are viewing things in a different way, like especially with the pandemic, but people aren't really going to movies as much anymore. And I travel all around the world and people know Chucky everywhere. And what they know it from a lot of times is from their TV or, their bootleg copies that they watch at home. But I know Don Mancini was really excited about the series because, as Brad says, he has the opportunity now to explore the characters. We have 8 episodes, so that's like 8. Are they 1 hour? 8?
Yeah.
8 1-hour episodes. The studios have been so kind to us. We have so much money to explore. So everything is first class on this. When I stepped onto the set and I saw the beautiful cinematography and the beautiful sets and all the crew and everything, I thought, wow, it's like we've hit the big time. Because, sometimes with those Chucky movies, they would be like, oh, you want to make another Chucky movie? Okay, here's 27 cents. And we'd be like, okay, nobody drink the coffee. We need that money to pay the ADR, So it's just been such a pleasure. And the characters are so well written in this series.
Absolutely. And I know as a fan, it was really fascinating to learn more about Charles Lee Ray and his backstory. Brad, was that exciting for you too?
Yeah, I'm always like, obviously I've had my own ideas, but, I'm always really excited to see what Don's going to be doing with it. And I got the whole script every time. So I was going, this is okay. Mm-hmm. This is going to work. Yeah, I was excited.
And I know the fans have been clamoring for a backstory. Like there's a lot of fan sites and they do fan fiction on Tiffany and Charles Lee Ray before they became dolls. And I was always saying to Dawn, like, oh, maybe we can do like a, flashback scene and, because I wanted to make out with Brad. And 30 years later they do it, but obviously we're too old to do the flashback, so they bring in the younger actors to reenact the backstory. But it's still really interesting to me because I had no idea Tiffany was that bloodthirsty right from the beginning, but it does make sense, right. And it's just so, and the girl who plays Tiffany, she actually looks like me, and she is half Chinese or half Asian, which is what I am also. So he did a really good job casting her.
Well, I have to tell you, out of all the films, Bride of Chucky, still one of my favorite. Jennifer, what
my favorite of the series.
Thank you.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
I remember after we did the read through, not the read through, the recording, and I never recorded before. And they put Brad in this us in the same booth, different booths, so we could improvise. And he's so good at improvising. Like we improvised some of the funny bits in the movie, but when he would throw something at me, I'd be like, right back at you. And at the end of the movie, I looked over in the booth and he was crying because Tiffany dies. And I was crying too. And I thought, wow, it's just like wonderful to work with this brilliant actor and be playing a little plastic doll at the same time. It's like such a strange feeling.
Who were up to astonishingly naughty things.
Naughty things, yes.
I mean, I remember feeling when we had sex, and I mean, when we did it in the booth, it was normal. You and me going, like we
Right.
were having sex, but when the dolls were doing it, was like,
gosh.
I was shocked.
Well, you know, when the doll goes to kiss her, when Chucky goes to kiss Tiffany, I made a gargling noise, like he was like putting, because then when I saw it, they had his tongue go out. It was like rotating in my mouth, and Tiffany's like, I was like, well, that's interesting. And yeah, you did see like doll butt, and in silhouette, you saw doll penetration. We were the first ones to do it. You know, South Park copied us with their doll sex.
Yeah.
They caught, but we were groundbreaking in that regard.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is so true. So I have to ask, you know, we're talking about dolls here, but you know, when you have Chucky and you have Tiffany and they're serial killers and they murder people, but we can't get enough of them. We're always rooting for them. Why do you think that is, Brad?
Well, I mean, you know, you kind of root for all the monsters, don't you, in some kind of a way? I mean, you know, deeply psychological. It's probably that, you know, everybody has genes that have to deal with the fact that they can be prey. And that's what horror films are all about. They're all about that feeling. And it's like a roller coaster ride where you get to experience that, but you're safe. I mean, very early on in horror, there was this series called, there was a show called Dr. Fives. And it was the first really camp horror movie. And it introduced a sense of fun that has never left horror. And I think you have to be careful not to be too funny with this, but Chucky's funny, you know? I mean, having a little doll be a mean little monster, there's some humor there. And
the whole
of course,
idea,
Tiffany's a comedic genius, so there's no way around that. And you know, I'm awed by Tiffany, by Jennifer's ability to improvise. I mean, one of the movies, The Blue Lagoon, she did one of my favorite speeches of all time, and it was an improvisation. And I just thought it was one of the most brilliant scenes I've ever seen. So
dancing at the blue iguana.
Blue Lagoon,
Yes,
and it was the speech when you were, you know.
I know the one where
you were going to get an abortion, and the lady was picking on you.
Yes.
To keep you from smoking.
Yeah, and that scene was totally improvised. I think the reason why people love Chucky is he's so unapologetic. You know, he has problems, but he's like a regular guy. Like, he smokes a doobie and he yells at his wife, and, you know, he's got a gender fluid kid he's got to deal with, and, you know, but he has a good time. He has a good time killing people. He's not like one of those. Now it seems like the trend is like not monsters, but killers that are really tortured. And, you know, you see that they were really sort of abused as a child. And what Dawn wanted to do in this is, when the backstory is to say, no, it wasn't like he had a terrible time. He had a great childhood. Some people are just born bad. And I think that that's a really interesting thing that he added to the backstory, that, you know, Chucky.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's not some deep psychological glitch.
And the same goes for you.
Yeah, and Tiffany too. Like, they don't really. I think Tiffany has a bit more of a conscience than Chucky, but, you know, killing is just so darn fun.
Yeah.
You saw in some of the other movies, she's trying to do like the 12-step program in like 3 days, but she's trying to wean herself. She knows intellectually it's not good to kill, but she really likes to kill, so it's very difficult for her to get rid of her killing addiction. Well, but her Chucky addiction is the worst. You know, she keeps trying to kick Chucky to the curb, but he keeps coming back.
Yeah, that addiction is the strongest.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, you guys are both so entertaining to talk to. I've watched the first 4 episodes and I'm hooked. They only gave us 4, so I can't wait to finish it.
Well, it goes totally bonkers, the 5th episode. That's when I come in, and all the OGs, Fiona Dora, who plays Nika, Brad's daughter, comes in, and Andy Barkley comes back, and Kyle, Christine Elise comes back. So it gets crazy. You're going to love the last 4. The first 4 is brilliant too, but the last 4 is insane. Thanks.
Thanks.
Nice talking to you.
Thanks so much, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.